past year, I have grown quite fond of the 847cc 3-cylinder engine in the Yamaha FZ-10. I was certain that no bike powered by an inline 4-cylinder was going to provide a visceral thrill to match that wild child triple. Over the past 3 years, Yamaha has completely reworked this entire line of bikes from the ground up. They started with the newly designed 847cc triple engine in the FZ-10. Abandoning the inline 4 platform that had previously dominated the model line, this trend continued with the introduction of the FZ-07 and its all-new parallel twin. When it was announced that the FZ-10 would replace the FZ-1, we learned it would be powered by the same 998cc crossplane 4-cylinder found in the new YZF-R1, exiting our hotel and pulling onto Route 28 in North Carolina. The long sweeping curves began immediately. The FZ-10's throttle modes regulate how the power is delivered, and Yamaha confused us all by changing the designation of the modes from those found on the FZ-09, FJ-09, and XSR-900. Standard mode now elicits the mildest response from the engine, while B mode offers the most aggressive, a mode which falls in between the two. Seemed to offer the perfect compromise of throttle response and power delivery, and it's where I spent most of my time. Engine internals have been changed compared to the R1 to deliver more low and mid-range torque. Everything from new camshafts, pistons, injectors, and intake valves to revised intake ports and a larger airbox work together to accomplish this. Low in the rev range, the FZ-10 doesn't hit as hard as the triple found in the FZ-09, as well as the FJ-09 and XSR-900. Instead, you have to spin the engine before it comes to life, but when it does, watch out. In A mode, the engine woke up around 6,000 revolutions per minute, and from there a big, flat torque curve means the bike pulls like a freight train to the 12,200 revolutions per minute red line. The traction control on this bike is derived from the R1. The FZ-10 has 4 levels of interference. Level 1 allows riders to loft the front wheel and ride extremely aggressively, with Level 2 offering up only a bit more regulation of one's hooliganism. Level 3 offers the highest level of interference and is intended for wet or slippery conditions. The 4th setting allows the rider to disable the system completely. I spent my entire day in Level 1 and never once found the need to disable traction control completely in order to act foolish. As I mentioned earlier, the FZ-10 also has 3 throttle modes to choose from. I like the fact that the system remembers your preferred throttle and traction control settings after turning off the ignition. This is the one area where the FZ-10 left me wanting more. I was expecting more bite from the brakes, as these, too, were lifted straight off the R1. The main difference between the two bikes is the master cylinder. Where the R1 utilizes a Nissan radial master cylinder, the FZ-10 gets a Brembo unit. The result is a very soft initial bite. When you're coming in hot, you need to make sure you're ready to give a nice strong pull on the lever to slow this bad boy down. The brakes do feature ABS, which is going to be a positive for riders disappointed by the lack of ABS on the FZ-09. The system is not linked and has dual front advex 4-piston calipers clamping down on 320mm rotors and a rear single-piston caliper with a 220mm rotor. ABS engaged a few times and I was impressed by the smoothness with which it operated, never causing the bike to feel unsettled. One of my concerns for riders who are considering the FZ-10 for 2-up sport touring is being able to make the needed adjustments for varied loads. While adjusting the preload to accommodate additional weight is easy enough on the front fork, the rear shocks lock rings look as if they might require a bit of knuckle busting to reach. This bears mention because Yamaha already has an optional windscreen and luggage in the works for people who wish to turn the FZ-10 into a sport touring machine. The other thing I found peculiar was The fact that Yamaha mentioned the FZ-10's subframe was changed to steel to better accommodate the weight of a passenger and luggage. However, according to the spec sheet, the gross vehicle weight rating (GVWR) of the FZ-10 is 838 pounds, while that of the R1 is 853 pounds. Factor in that the FZ-10 weighs in at 463 pounds wet, nearly 25 pounds more than the R1. And the FZ actually seems to be significantly less capable of handling the additional load. I think Yamaha took a gamble with the aggressive styling of this motorcycle. As I sit here typing, my dad, and fellow rider, is looking over my shoulder, commenting on how hideous this bike looks. You could argue that my father is not the target audience, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But Yamaha has to find enough consumers who behold this bike favorably enough to open their checkbooks.